Did Sam Levinson steal the concept of Euphoria from a female photographer? Why is Jojo Siwa defending Colleen Ballinger? And how did security cameras catch these TSA agents stealing from travelers? Alright, so this is massive news. Euphoria creator Sam Levinson is coming under fire after Petra Collins has accused him of ripping her off with the hit show. If you don't know Petra Collins by name, you will probably know her work. After making a name for herself as a fashion photographer, Petra has directed huge music videos by the likes of Olivia Rodrigo, Cardi B, and Selena Gomez. Thanks to her signature dreamy, lo-fi feminine aesthetic, she has one of the most recognizable styles in pop culture today. But she recently shocked fans when she revealed that she worked on Euphoria, only to be kicked off of it. And to add to that, she says her ideas were still being used without credit. In an interview with Punk'd this year, Petra explained how she was originally involved in Euphoria. She said, "The reason I moved to LA was because Sam Levinson reached out to my agency and told me, I wrote a show based on your photos. Will you direct it?" She said that she worked on Euphoria for about 5 months and even did casting for it. But at the last minute, HBO allegedly told her that she was too young and they dropped her from the show. After that, she naturally expected that they would scrap her work. Fast forward to 2019 and she found out that her vision was still being used. She said, "A year later, I walked out of my apartment and I see this billboard, and it's exactly what I am, a copy of my work. I started crying, I was so shocked." She ended by saying, "The worst thing was when people would unknowingly say, 'This show looks like your photos.'" When Euphoria originally debuted, many fans pointed out the similarities between the show and her aesthetic. Now her quotes have gone viral, with many fans calling out Sam Levinson and HBO for using her work without giving her the proper credit. One person tweeted, "Stole her entire vision and made one of the most popular and talked about TV shows of the decade, and she got nothing for it." Another person wrote, "No, this Petra Collins Sam Levinson use makes me so upset. Like, imagine developing a style for years that's so intertwined with your means of self-expression, only for it to be stolen from you and come back right at you in such a huge scale with someone else's name on it." Even singer Charli XCX gave her 2 cents on the situation. She tweeted, "I just want to say that Petra Collins has been making everyone gag since the Tumblr days. In many instances, her casting, aesthetic, artistic vision has been taken and repurposed, but no matter what, she'll always be the girl. She is the blueprint." Neither Sam Levinson nor HBO have put out a statement about these accusations yet, but a source close to Levinson has denied Petra's version of their encounter. They told the Daily Beast that it's widely known that Euphoria is a remake of an Israeli show. According to the source, Sam merely offered to throw her name into the ring to be considered to direct the pilot. Quote, "As a fan of hers, he was hoping there was a possibility that they could work together in that way, but by no means was anything promised. That wouldn't have been possible for him to do because ultimately it was the network's decision." While we have no idea which version of events is accurate, this wouldn't be the first time Sam was accused of stealing the work of female creatives before him. A lot of this goes back to the firing of director Amy Seimetz on HBO's series The Idol. Last year during production, it was reported that Amy had exited the show as a part of a creative overhaul. Originally, she was set to direct all 6 episodes, but Sam, who was initially just a co-creator on the series, ended up with her role. At the time, sources also said that The Weeknd led these changes because he didn't like the show's female perspective. The story resurfaced in the viral Rolling Stone expose about the alleged on-set chaos following Levinson's takeover. So all things considered, it seems like the internet is growing extremely frustrated with Sam Levinson, and based on this latest controversy, it doesn't seem like Twitter will be warming up to him anytime soon. Now, why on earth is Jojo Siwa defending Colleen Ballinger? She's finally spoken out about the allegations against Colleen, who she befriended when she was very young. Jojo went on Howie Mandel's podcast where she was asked if she was still friends with her after the accusations came out. In response, she said this was the first time that she would speak about it publicly, so she wanted to choose her words wisely. Jojo said, "She's always been nothing but kind to me. Her family, nothing but kind to me. The internet can take a lie and run with it so far that to the point where you just can't do anything about it." She went on to say, "I've had that happen to me and I know Colleen very well, and I think that the work Colleen has done for the internet is incredible. I think her creativity is incredible." Jojo also defended her character Miranda Sings, who's come under fire for making several comments that fans later called inappropriate. She claims that Miranda Sings is a character and a comedian, and she thinks that it's very hard to be a character where people are also looking at you like you're a real human being behind that character. She went on to say that she thinks being a comedian is very hard because you were able to do things years ago that were okay, and now that we've grown up and we've matured, we've realized that they're not okay. Howie Mandel then asked Jojo why she chose to continue her friendship with Colleen after learning about the allegations, and in response, she called it a sensitive subject. She said, "There have been a lot of people on the internet who have gotten hit with this cancellation, and a lot of them I know, some of them I don't know, and I look at it and I see this as a sensitive subject, someone who was affected by any sort of anything having to do with adults." What's really sad about this is that Jojo actually admits that she once looked up to Colleen and she became someone that she idolized over the years. Throughout their friendship, she claimed that they probably filmed like 100 videos together. She said, "I think the problem is that the internet was able to capitalize off of her cancellation, and they still are, and they are continuing to do so, and it's not okay because a lot of it is based off of lies." Adam McIntyre, who's been one of the main accusers to call out Colleen, has now responded to Jojo's comments in his own video. He said, "Me and Jojo both became friends with Colleen at the same age. Now they're both 20 years old, but they came to know her in their early teens." Adam called Jojo irresponsible for defending Colleen while she has a young audience. He reacted to the clip on her podcast. When she said, "Sometimes a lie gets so big that you can't do anything about it," he said, "But she did do something about it. She made the ukulele video, where she said she was in group chats and she was the creepy aunt and she overshared." So years ago, Adam was almost bullied off the internet when he made a video alleging that Colleen had formed an inappropriate personal relationship with him while he was between the ages of 13 and 16, which included sending him lingerie as a joke. He also claimed that she gave him access to her social media accounts and that they exchanged text messages for years. He claimed that Colleen would trauma dump on him all the time, and in one of his videos he said, "I was so involved in this woman's life that it was embarrassing to look back on. There were some days on a school night I would be up until like 4 AM trying to calm her down or trying to give her advice. It was a private thing." Of course, the only response Colleen seemed to have for this is that she shouldn't have been oversharing about her life, which is not the same as taking accountability. As we know, Colleen chose to respond to the allegations piling up against her with a ukulele song. She started off a 10-minute video by saying, "Some people are saying things about me that just aren't true. Even though my team has strongly advised me not to say what I'm going to say, I realized they never said I couldn't sing what I'm about to say." She explained that early on in her YouTube career, she used to message her fans not in a creepy way, like a lot of people are trying to suggest, but more in a loser kind of way. She says that she was just trying to be besties with everybody, though she admitted that there were times when she would overshare. So she eventually changed her behavior and said she took accountability. In her song she sings, "Thought you wanted me to take accountability, but that's not the point of your mob mentality. Your goal is to ruin the life of the person you despise, while you dramatize your lies and monetize their demise." There's even a recurring chorus in the video where she called the allegations about her the toxic gossip train. At another point she sang, "I'm sure you're disappointed in my little song. I know you wanted me to say that I was 100% in the wrong. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not going to take that route of admitting lies and rumors that you made about me for clout." Colleen insists that the only thing she's ever groomed is her 2 Persian cats. She says that she's just a loser who didn't understand that she shouldn't respond to fans, and claims that all of these stories boil down to a fart joke that she made 5 years ago. In response to the video, Adam McIntyre tweeted, "As much as Colleen discredited and made fun of me, I'm glad her video did one thing, show you exactly the type of evil woman that she is, that a lot of us have experienced over the past years behind the scenes. The mask has slipped, everyone meet the real Colleen Ballinger." People were really backing him up in the comments, speculating about what would happen to her channel next. Someone wrote, "She's banking on her older audience to just accept what she's saying and continue. I bet she makes a huge pivot on her channel. Maybe she'll pull a Brittany Dawn and become a faith influencer." There were even people comparing her video to another infamous apology video, arguing about which one was worse. So at this point, it's extremely surprising that anyone would be lining up to defend her, which is why Jojo Siwa's comments are just extra confusing. Now, this has to be your biggest nightmare when traveling, because it's been reported that TSA agents were caught stealing. They were caught on video stealing money from passengers' luggage at security checkpoint, and they're now both under arrest. The 2 suspects were on duty scoping out bags being scanned in Miami International Airport in late June and early July. On both occasions, the Transportation Security Administration agents worked together to snatch money from carry-ons stashed in bins on a conveyor belt. In the newly released surveillance footage, you can see the 2 men standing at the carousel, using it to take cash from a constant stream of other people's personal belongings. You can see them both putting their hands into the bags and then shoving the bills into their pockets. The alleged thieves were arrested in July and charged with grand theft, along with a 3rd TSA employee who was also said to be part of the crime. In one clip, an agent opens up a small pocket at the front of the bag on the conveyor belt. He slips out a wallet and then continues to stay with the bag right until he pushes it right through the CT scanner. He then puts his hands into his pocket. In another clip, you can see the two agents focusing on one corner of the security trays before one of them puts an item into his pocket. According to a police report obtained by CBS, the men are accused of removing $600 from a passenger's wallet while the passenger was in the screening process. The report said that they would distract the passengers as they were being screened to steal money from their belongings. So that is pretty shocking. In a statement, TSA said that they have removed the officers from screening duties pending completion of the investigation. Quote, TSA holds its transportation security officers to the highest professional and ethical standards and has no tolerance for misconduct in the workplace. We actively and aggressively investigated these allegations of misconduct and presented our findings to the Miami-Dade Police Department and are working closely with them. Any employee who fails to meet our fundamental ethical standards is held accountable. Well, that was certainly a good response. It's troubling to think how long this could have been going on before anyone was caught on the security camera. So be sure to keep a close eye on your stuff whenever you go through TSA. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.